Hi everybody, Nathan here with Jeskai Geist. This is the list that we're running today. Kind of wanted to see how Molten Raid might fare, even though on a conceptual level I didn't feel too strongly about it, mainly because I think that attacking their lands with something like Molten Rain is just too slow. Blood Moon might be a bit better, but if you're already behind as far as removing their creatures, then you can't. It's difficult to spend your mana on Molten Rain to take out one land at a time if they've already deployed multiple creatures. And I think the last game was against Colorless Eldrazi. That proved true. We didn't even draw the Molten Rains, but they wouldn't have been very good. So I actually think what I'm going to try next time is... I can probably just do it now. I think something like this might actually be the way to fight that deck. Now this may be overkill, but some number of verdicts, because the main issue is they're able to deploy creatures faster than you can really kill them. Kind of like Affinity, but the thing is, each one of their creatures is much more powerful than the creatures Affinity is playing, and so killing one creature a turn is not very good. And you need too many things to line up correctly for you regarding mana and the way they play their creatures in order to, say, stay just ahead or stay at parity with them with things like Electrolyze. And I really think the thing you do is you just force them to go all in trying to attack you, disrupt them as much as you can, and then verdict the board away. And potentially even have multiple ways to do that in the deck. So that being said, that's our list. This is round 3. I'm going to keep this hand. Okay, so we're playing some kind of Merfolk deck. I'm going to play an island. That way we have the potential to spell snare a lord here. Yep. Interesting. I think I'm just going to get a Ghost Warrior. Assuming he doesn't play Cavern, since Counter Magic isn't normally good in this matchup, I would really like to be able to trade a Mana Leak for basically any creature. Turn it into a Bolt or something like that. Hopefully it's another Lord, actually. Thinking twice. Maybe going for one. I think Vile is worth countering. It makes his deck just a ton better. I think I'm just going to get Geist in play. Getting Geist in play on what is essentially what might as well be an empty board is great. And the nice thing, like, if you're able to have a Geist in play and then make them deal with it by trying to put, say, a blocker in front of it so that you can kill it and then attack is exactly where you want to be. Now, this could be a Kira, which would be kind of annoying. Okay, so it's a Maravidri. All right, that's fine. So he's attacked quite a few times, and we are essentially trying to think of the best way to do this, because we're not going to be able to Helix on his turn, unfortunately. I think while he's tapped, let's see, this could just get a Plains and we could Helix. I like that idea, actually. Changes the combat math just a bit. So he's attacked a few times with this little guy, and we're able to basically even things up with one attack from Geist. And I might actually just go ahead and... I want to save this for his lords, but I really like... He could have a Dispel. I really like just hitting for 6 with Geist. And I think it's worth it to... Actually, we don't have to take 2. We can just take 1 and... what are the chances we win another red here? I don't think at this point we will. So I'm actually going to draw step click here. You know, the other reason I think it was worth countering Aether Vial is because every turn that goes by, it's like he's generating more and more mana. Phantasmal Image is something that we probably want to take. Master of Waves is pretty darn annoying. But Phantasmal Image can just copy our Geist of Saint Traft, which I have lost to before. And I think we can beat a Master right now anyway. So... He could Harbinger our Angel token and then block Geist, which isn't great, but I really don't want to give him a Geist of Saint Traft. I never remember to take screenshots while I'm narrating my videos. He had a Harbinger of the Tide. I think he had a Spreading Seas. Master of Waves. Okay, I'm not that upset about the Master. If we draw a... If we draw like a Bolt or a Helix, then the game's over. Alright, I guess he felt like he couldn't beat it either. Okay, so we definitely want this. We definitely want this. We want this. I think the Spell Snares are keepable. I don't think the Mana Leaks or the Remands are great. I don't think these are fantastic. Is the Staticasters good if we end up in one of those positions where... he has cast like multiple what's the word I'm looking for? Not Mirror Regery. The 2-1 he just played one. The 2-1 that when it comes into play draws him a card. I've been in situations where they've played like 2 or 3 of those things and it's like, oh, they have 6 power and they've probably drawn like at least 2 creatures alongside that. So it's not my favorite card in the matchup, but it could potentially let us clean that situation up. I think Vendilion Click is relatively good against Aether Vial, because they can activate it. You can flash it in response and take like their Master, take something. And so Dispel is probably passable. It's not my favorite, but I guess Keranos is interesting. Keranos is probably too... On the surface, he's too slow. But the thing is, against these aggressive decks... There's many times where, you know, they technically probably run more creatures than we have removal spells. And there are times when, if we can't, say, get a 2 or 3 for 1 with Explosives or Verdict, where we stabilize at 4 life or 5 life, and we could potentially just die to anything. Keranos helps us ensure that if the board state gets there, it helps us ensure that we keep the board clear and we outdraw our opponent. So I think it's worth it for that. I'm going to submit this. You sometimes can get a Merfolk player with Geist. Definitely keeping this. It may be a bit slow, but I think Verdict is too good to pass up. Especially if it goes like turn 1 Aether Vial, then yeah, that slows him down just a little bit. He could be spreading, casting the Spreading Seas on this, which I'm not really that worried about. All right, just a Silvergill Adept. All right, so I'm going to cast this and just Serum Visions. I don't want the other land. I'll take the Lightning Helix. Probably Curse Catcher. Oh yeah, he plays this. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 9. And if he has another Lord, then it's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, which we'd be almost dead. So I'm actually just going to play this and Serum Visions and hope that we live. Yeah, so I can put this in the bottom. I'll draw another Serum Visions, and our plan is to, like, if he goes Lord, Lord, I think we're just dead. But there's not much we can do about that anyway. So we just have to hope it's not like Lord of Atlantis, or Mara Regi, Lord of Atlantis, or we are just completely dead. Bad sign. Okay, so we're just totally dead. So I think, I don't remember exactly. I don't remember what. When he played the Kira Glass Spinner, I think there was a Silvergill Adept. Interestingly, we could have said, okay, well, if he plays the Lord, 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 then are we going to die? And we could have done the combat math to figure out, well, we'd be at 2. So then it might have been correct to Path to Exile Silvergill Adept. We'd be alive. We'd be Wrathing next turn. Oh, well. I'm not going to change anything. Although, yeah, no, I don't want to change anything. It's possible like Leak is a little better on the play. I'll give this a shot. All right, so we got to mulligan this. And this is a keep. Man, I wish I had thought ahead more. I think I could have won that last. Well, I think I could have not died that last game. But it didn't, when we knew we were going for Wrath, I don't know how godly of a draw that is for Merfolk. Spell Snare. Yeah, I'll keep that. It's not like it has no targets. Spreading Seas, you know, he could also try to play something that costs 2 in addition to viling something in. I'm sure he has another land, so I'm thinking that he's trying to decide if he wants to do this or not. No, maybe he plays a Curse Catcher here, and nope. All right, so that was worth it, obviously. Okay, so I think this can just get on a Bolt now. And what I think I'm going to do is, with this trigger on the stack, I am going to click him. And the reason is I'd like to take like a Master or a Lord or something like that. I'm going to take Phantasmal Image. It can really double up his Lords, and I'm not worried about Harbinger of the Tides. So this looks like a hand that we might be able to beat. So yeah, I think I take the Image. Otherwise, he probably plays Phantasmal Image, copies our Vendilion Click, and then takes our removal spell. I think this is fine. So we can Serum Visions. It's probably correct too. We're gonna have to take a little pain to do it, but I don't think we're under an immense amount of pressure. I think Explosives will prove useful, and I think that these Snaps and Helixes are also good. So I'm gonna put Snap on top, Helix on top, and just attack here. If he's going to bounce this, I think that's fine. All right, so his hand is at least 2 islands. Sure, I'm actually fine for him to... I want him to play more 2-drops because I really want to get him with this Explosives. So I'm probably just going to play click end of turn here. Although I do like the idea of shooting Mutavault. Yeah, I think it's worth it to actually bolt Mutavault, since our Explosives here isn't going to. I think I just pass back here. It might have also been actually correct to just let's play Explosives on 2. All right, so I think he's played 2 islands. Animate that Mutavault. I'm actually going to Helix this. If he activates Vial, I'll flash in Vendilion Click in response. Harbinger. Do I just let him flash in Harbinger and then kill both with... Because, yeah, I think I just take Marrow Reejery. Let him put the Harbinger in. If he wants to bounce the click, that's fine. And then next turn get a 2-for-1. Like, we're still at 15. And if this draws him a Lord, like, we're going to take a bit, but we're going to get a pretty awesome... Like, if he plays any kind of a Lord here. But either way, we're going to probably pop this on too. Yeah, I'm just going to do white, red. See, what don't I want this to be? I really don't want it to be Akira. So maybe he drew a Master of Waves. So I think what I want to do is see, I could Snapcaster Mage, Helix him down to 11, and then tack him down to 8. And then I attack him to 5. Snapcaster Mage probably won't make it through. But then I have Snap, Bolt, and an Electrolyze. I think I'm going to let their attack in and go for that play. Could have Spell Pierce. No. All right. So now I think we're in better shape here. So even if he has a Lord, I don't really think we care about this attack. All right, cool. Okay, so 3-1 in the league so far. Still thinking about that Eldrazi deck. I think verdicts are the way to go. So hopefully, if I can get that card hoarder thing approved, I can bring you guys some matches. And I'll be working with Jason Clark. By the way, this is my buddy Real Evil Genius, Jason Clark. He writes for Mana Deprived. He's a Team Geist dude, plays Modern, Standard, Legacy. Solid player, makes great content. Do me a favor and give him a few follows on Twitch. That'll benefit you guys because you'll get to see more modern content, and it'll help Jason get to a point where he can hopefully borrow some decks and produce even more content. Anyway, guys, as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for commenting, all of that stuff. I really appreciate the support. Draw well and smash face.